Hello everyone, this is grade 6, module 5, lesson 6 problem set. For number 1, it states, below is a drawing of a wall that is to be covered with either wallpaper or paint. The wall is 8 feet high and 16 feet wide. The window, mirror, and fireplace are not to be painted or papered. The window measures 18 inches wide and 14 feet high. The fireplace is 5 feet wide and 3 feet high, while the mirror above the fireplace is 4 feet wide and 2 feet high. Note, this drawing is not to scale. Now the big thing we want to remember this is we want to keep all the same units. So I see that we had one up here, the window that measured 18 inches wide and 14 feet high. So when we go to put that in, we want to make sure that we put that in feet rather than inches. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to label this. And I see that the wall is 8 feet high and 16 feet wide. Now the window measures 18 inches, which I know 12 inches is a foot, so 6 is going to be a half, so it's going to be 1.5 feet. And 14 feet. The fireplace is 5 feet wide and 3 feet high. So 5 feet here and 3 feet there. And the mirror above the fireplace is 4 feet by 2 feet. So I'm going to put 4 feet and 2 feet. And where we label these, remember when we do area, we're going to be using the formula length times width. So let's take a look first at part A. How many square feet of wallpaper are needed to cover the wall? So we have to figure out the square feet of the whole thing and then subtract out the different pieces that aren't going to be used. So let's do the whole thing, and we're going to do 16 feet times 8 feet. So if I do 16 times 8, that's 48, and then 12, so 128 feet squared. So that's my whole piece. Now, since I'm using the same formula for all of these, I'm not going to show the formula for each of these and then my substitution, my answer. I'm just going to show the work for it. So my next one is my mirror, and I'm going to do 4 feet times 2 feet. So my area for that is 8 feet squared. My window is going to be 14 feet times 1.5 feet. And that one I'm going to show up top here. So I end up with 70 for my first partial and 140 for my second partial, which means I'll end up with 210. And now I got to figure out where my decimal's going. And I have tenths here, and I'm ones here. So 1 times tenths gets me tenths. So I'm going to put my decimal to show tenths. So my actual answer is 21 feet squared. So I'll put that here. And I know some of you, you're saying pull the decimal out and then put the decimal back in. Well, I'm just showing you that when you multiply a ones place, the furthest place to the right, by the tenths place, you still get tenths. And that's why I put it just after the tenths place there, to show that I'm only using the tenths. So that's showing why that works. And then my last one is the fireplace. So I have a length times width. I'm going to do 5 feet times 3 feet, and my area is 15 feet squared. So now I'm going to go off to the side, and I know that my hole is 128 feet squared, and the ones that I need to subtract, which I'll do in black, I have 8, 21, and 15. So 8, 21, and 15. And that's for the mirror, the window, the mirror, and the fireplace. So I'm going to add up all those ones that I want to take out. So the window, the mirror, and the fireplace. I want to add up all those areas. And I'll get 44 feet squared, and I'm going to subtract that from my total. Because what this is going to show me is all the blank space that aren't taken up by the window, the mirror, and the fireplace. And I see I have 84 feet squared left that I need to put wallpaper on. So that's my answer for A. Let's take a look down at 2. And it says a classroom has a length of 30 feet and a width of 20 feet. Flooring is to be replaced by tile. If each tile has a length of 36 inches and a width of 24 inches, how many tiles are needed to cover the classroom floor? So I'm going to do the work for this down here, so I have a little bit of space. And the first thing I want to do is find the classroom. And I'm going to find the area of it using length times width. So it has a length of 30 feet and a width of 20 feet. And I know 3 times 2 is 6, and I know I have 3 10s and 2 10s, which means when I'm talking about 10s times 10s, the place, it's actually the hundreds, because 10 times 10 is 100. And I'm going to do feet squared because I did feet times feet. Now, if that didn't make sense to you, I can also go up here, and there's nothing wrong with showing my work to get 600 right there. So that's the classroom. Now I need to do the tile. And the classroom was talking in terms of feet, tile is in terms of inches, so I'm going to turn those into inches. And I know that there's 12 inches in a foot. So if 1 foot equals 12 inches, 2 equals 24, 3 equals 36. And that's what I need right there. So I know that my other one tile, if I want to do length times width, I know that the length is 3 feet and the width is 2 feet. And I know that from my conversions right here. So my area is 6 feet squared. So that's what one tile is. And that's the whole thing. So now we got to figure out how many tiles must be ordered. So we're going to divide those and see how many tiles I can get from that. So if I do 600 divided by 6, it's going to go in once, and then I'm going to bring down my zeros. And I know it goes in 0 times, so it looks like we're going to need to order 100 tiles. And all I did was take the area of the tile and divide it into the area of the total floor. Let's take a look at page 2. And we'll zoom right in here and take a look at the first one, which is 4. A rectangular flower bed measures 10 meters by 6 meters. it has a path 2 meters wide around it. Find the area of the path. So it's showing us that inside here, and I'm going to find first the area of the flower bed. And the reason why I'm doing that is because we have the dimensions right here. We have 10 and we have 6. So I know that that's 10, that's 6. So I'm going to be using length times width, and I'll do a 10 meters times 6 meters, and my area is 60 meters squared. So now, in order to get the measurement of the whole thing, I know that this is 6 to here, but we have another 2 there, and it looks like another 2 down here. So really, the whole measurement with the walkway is 6 plus 2 plus 2, which is 10. And then down below we have 10 meters here, but we have another 2 and another 2 there. So we have 14 meters for the whole thing. So I'm going to put the whole here, and I have length times width. I have 14 meters times 10 meters, and I know 14 times 10 is 140 meters squared because I did meters times meters. So in order to figure out the path, I need to subtract out the area of the flower bed from the whole amount. And that'll give me what's left, which is the walkway. So I'm going to do 140 meters squared, and I'm going to subtract out 60 meters squared. I'm going to be left with 80 meters squared. And that's the area of just the walking path. Let's take a look at 6 as the very last one. Not going to do the whole thing, but I'll get you started with it. The entire large rectangle below has an area of 3.5 feet squared. If the dimensions of the white rectangle are shown below, write and solve an equation to find the area A of the shaded region. So we're finding the region that is blue here, probably gray in your paper. So the entire area here is 3.5 feet squared. And I know the way that I can find area of this spot is length times width. And I see that I have 3/4 times 3/8. And if I just multiply across, I'm going to end up with 9/32 feet squared. So that's my area of just the white square that I have in there. Now, what I could do is say 9/32 feet squared, so that's this purple spot here, plus A, which is this blue shaded area, should equal 3.5 feet squared. And how am I going to figure out the blue area? Well, I know that the whole amount is 3.5. I'm going to want to subtract out the white area from up above that I was given the dimensions. So I'm going to want to subtract out 9/32 feet squared to get me the leftover, which is the blue space. So you'll want to make your common units. You have halves and you have 30 seconds. So halves, 30 seconds. You're going to want to put them into common units, meaning common denominators, and then subtract out like you know. And that'll get you the shaded area of the blue spot or the gray spot on your paper. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching and good luck on your problem set.